Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tune Project. Today we are continuing with our Fiddle Techniques series. Last time we talked about the snap, and today we're talking all about the cut, what it is, and how you can implement it into your practicing. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed to the Tune Project but enjoy my videos, I invite you to click that red subscribe button below and the notification bell so that you can be updated each time I post a new video. So let's talk about this thing called the cut. So the name itself comes from the Cape Breton tradition, but the technique is also used in Ireland and Scotland. It's used in many different places and many different styles of music, and you've probably heard it most in Scottish and Irish tunes. That's where it's most commonly played. It also has other names besides the cut, so you might have heard it referred to as the bowed triplet or the burl. There are also other names as well, but the name that I've heard most associated with it is the cut, and I really think it's fitting for the technique in itself and what it actually is. Now, I will say I personally am no expert at this particular technique, the cut. This is one that I've struggled with a little bit actually, and have found it a little bit difficult to really master, but I think it's such a great technique and something that's so commonly used that I thought it was important to share with you all, and hopefully you can, work your way toward mastering it and incorporating it into some of the tunes that you already know and play. Okay, so rhythmically speaking, you can think of the cut as 2 16th notes tied to an 8th note. So it would sound like this if we were to play it on open A. And I would recommend starting on a down bow just because that's where, when we start to speed up the cut, that's where you'll really find the most power, is drawing from that down bow. And we'll talk a little bit more about the technique itself when we do start to speed it up and what to do with the arm and how to navigate it. But for now, I would recommend, as you're starting to just learn the rhythm and play it on the slower side, just starting on a down bow. So what you can do is you can play scales to practice this rhythm. So feel free to practice that as much as you need to, but let's talk a little bit more about this technique specifically and what is actually required of us in order to achieve it. So we want to start off, as with all techniques, very relaxed, with our bow arm being loose and no tension or anything like that, making sure that our fingers and our hand are relaxed, and making sure, just like when we play normally, that our arm is in alignment with our wrist and our hand. Okay, so when we actually perform this cut, what happens is we go from this relaxed, loose position that should be our default to creating a little bit of tension for just a split second. So we want to make sure that we're staying nice and loose so that when we do go to play the cut, we're able to create that little bit of tension in our forearm and in our wrist, and make sure that everything is nice and stiff for just that split second, and then we can go back to being nice and loose for the rest of our playing. So I'm just gonna give an example of how this would be played a little bit faster if we were to take that rhythm that we learned earlier and just add a little bit of speed to it. So it would sound like this. Now, what I like to do when I am playing the cut is I like to utilize gravity. I think it's a lot of fun to start from above the string. Of course, this isn't a necessity. This is a personal preference situation, but I personally really like to start from above instead of on the string in a lot of cases. Now, this isn't something that's always a possibility. You might be playing a tune where you don't have that extra little bit of time to lift your bow off the string, or you're not coming from above. But if you are, I think it is really fun to be able to utilize gravity in that way when playing the cut. So in that sense, it would sound like this. Alright, so now I'm going to demonstrate this technique by playing a tune called Jenny Dang the Weaver. This is an Irish tune, and I'm just going to play a little sample of it. That way you'll be able to just kind of see the cuts in action and how they fit themselves into the context of a tune. So here it goes. So that is a little bit about the cut. I hope you enjoyed learning that technique. I hope you are able to find some ways to implement it into your playing, into some of the tunes that you maybe already know. Let me know if you've heard this technique before, if you have used this technique and how it has worked out for you. I would love to know in the comments down below, so be sure to leave your feedback. Also, as always with this techniques series, I would love to know if you guys have any techniques that you've been wanting to learn. Definitely let me know down below for future videos, and until next time, happy practicing. If you'd like to further your support of the Tune Project, be sure to head over to patreon.com/thetuneproject for information on that. And if you're planning on buying any music or doing any shopping on Amazon, be sure to head over to the Tune Project website, which I linked in the description box of all of my videos. Click my Amazon banner, and whatever you purchase, a small percentage of that will go toward the Tune Project. This just keeps the Tune Project going and allows me to continue to create free content for you all.